Okay, now we're going to tackle simplifying trig expressions, but I want you to first think about things you've been simplifying for a long time. So think back to laws of exponents. So if you rewrote that as separate fractions, x to the fifth over x squared times y cubed over y to the ninth times z to the first over z to the second. Well, you know the laws of exponents. When you're dividing powers of the same base, sorry about that, you subtract. Well, 5 subtract 2 is positive 3, so x cubed stays in the numerator. 3 subtract 9 is negative 6. Well, we don't want y to the negative 6, so that gets written in the denominator, y to the 6th. And 1 subtract 2 is negative 1, so instead of z to the negative first, that gets rewritten in the denominator. Well, you're going to be doing the same thing with trig expressions. I should have covered that real quick. So we have sine squared theta plus cosine squared. First thing that you should notice there, that looks like a Pythagorean theorem identity. So when you look at your identity sheet, you know that you can rewrite this right away as 1. And notice this time we're not having, all we're doing is simplifying. So you don't have to state the reasons. There's not anything over on this side. So whatever you're doing now, you can just say equals. And the first thing we're going to do is rewrite this as 1. And now I'm going to use the advice from verifying. I'm going to separate those into two fractions. All right. Well, 1 over tangent is the same as cotangent. And since this says 1 over cosine, and we like to leave things in terms of sine and cosine, I'm going to leave the 1 over cosine. Even though I know that's equal to secant, I'm going to leave the 1 over cosine for now. Let's simplify cotangent. Cotangent is the same as cosine over sine, and because we left this 1 over cosine, those cancel, leaving 1 over sine. And then again, if you look at your identity sheet, 1 over sine is cosecant. So now all of this stuff right here simplifies to cosecant. So it's not that this stuff is difficult. It's that you have to look at the identity sheet and you have to use common algebra practices. You can rewrite things as two fractions. Then you can look at the identity sheet again. Oh yeah, 1 over tangent is the same as cotangent. Cotangent, while it's the same as 1 over tangent, it's also the same as cosine over sine. And remember what the tip is. Rewriting everything in terms of sine and cosine eventually helps. And there's our most simplified version. All right, that's it for this one.